So Critical Role recently ended Campaign 2 with the Mighty Nine, and it was a 7-hour long session in what was a banger of an emotional sequence of events. And as a player and a dungeon master, I can only look on and just be amazed of how well everything ended. And I'll be giving some of my thoughts in this video, but on top of that, I'm going to try to break down how does Matthew Mercer end a campaign. So before we get started, I just want to say that this is a Critical Role video, and I'm going to go full in depth in spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode or you haven't seen Campaign 2, save this to your watch later. Just pause the video, go catch up, and come back and we'll talk, because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss. So spoiler warning, go watch the episode. So the first thing is going into the session. I was very surprised, and just reading the reactions online and on Twitter and on Reddit, and some people were even kind of upset, including myself at first, actually, because it felt like it was ending too soon, like some things weren't being answered. And I know that's a little bit of a entitled thing to say, but as a fan of a TV show, like, you expect some sort of climactic ending, similar to how Campaign 1 ended. But however, I saw that the cast was tweeting that it was 7 hours long, and I had a moment where I thought to myself, oh, it's not like 7 hours of pure roleplay. Not that I think that's bad, or I don't think that they can't pull it off, but I had a hunch that some things were going to be closed. And, the mage fight with Trent Ickathon, and once that whole sequence was already closed, that fight, all of a sudden Matt began to weave the epilogue into what felt like 3 to 4 hours instead of 7. And the first thing I want to say about Matt's style is that he skips all of the small details. I don't know if you noticed this, but he makes everything feel like it's slowly progressing faster. Things are kind of ramping up because, he, after the whole mage fight, he went into things such as the Ford and Vandrin talk. He went into the trial with Beauregard. He ended up visiting Yasha's tribe. He introduced a few NPCs that in the finale that didn't really have time to talk. But he didn't focus on the smaller details. And because of that, he was able to tell more stories in a shorter amount of time than what you'd expect from a typical Critical Role video. But it's fun in the sense of, what I admire is that he will, even though that these threads and these stories were incomplete by the epilogue, he still gave them an ending. And I don't know about you, but when I was watching it, it felt like, even though that these things kind of happened, he will still be able to, maybe in the future in the home game, or maybe if he wants to do it online, but he can pull it back, do a one-shot of it for Critical Role, and it'll be something that everyone will be excited for, because then he can break down this happens. And I just think it's so genius. Like, it's amazing. I love Matthew Mercer. He's a wonderful DM. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was that he also gave each player some time to either tell their stories, and then he moved on and tried to be reactive. And he would ask each player what they wanted to do over the course of the next few months or so. And it felt almost scripted, in the fact that it felt like he had a response to anything and everything. and you can tell he's reading something behind the screen. And I want to say that he had a possible outline of what things could happen. Just something very bare bones, something that he can have names and places of, just, you know, introducing certain NPCs that we haven't seen in a long time. Like I have in my notes Skyspear Jadek of the Dolarov tribe that I don't think we've ever met before, and then Lawmaster Orenta Stonegrasp, which I feel like I heard the name before, but I think they were never talked to, and I didn't even expect them to show up at all. And he had all the pieces ready. He had all the NPCs ready to what the players were even wanting to do. And on top of this, he gave the NPCs epilogues as well. Campaign 1, it felt very Vox Machina focused. It felt like it was just on them. There wasn't... It felt like it was more, you know, player focused. But here, he gave NPCs the ability to react to the epilogues that the players chose. So, for example, when Caleb was given the option to, you know, join the Cerberus Assembly and try to take it from within, he denied and declined the position. And Matt said a few months later he hears that Astrid took the job. So, like, in a matter of seconds, in a matter of minutes, Matt has just changed the possible history of Wildmount for up to the next campaign, assuming that it's happening in the future. I think it is crazy that Matt was able to engage the players as well. Like when Artagan, the Traveler, when he was able to, when he was having that, not midlife crisis, but he wanted to say farewell to Jester on when Ford was about to sail off in his ship. And, you know, he gave the impression that this is the end. And these things is just incredible, because I could have seen Matt easily pull a more reactive style, in the sense of, like, he didn't need to do anything because his players are so thoughtful and in their own storytelling that they can just, you know, pull the pieces that he himself placed on the you know, on the field, and he can just run with it. But he still engaged them, and I think that made the finale so much better. So that's how Matthew Mercer closes a 3-year-long campaign. Please let me know your thoughts about the finale in the comments down below. Let me know if there's anything that I missed, and let me know about your theories for campaign 3, because I'm so excited for it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.